at the tail end of your set before I went to bed. But I don't get out much. Met a lover in my backyard, watching from my roof. Honey, I'll come down.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. We don't expect our musicians to be on time. How you doing?
Oh, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I have a little bit of a croaky voice, so just ignore that.
No
Um,
worries. I'm a
how
little
was
stuffy.
how was your weekend?
Um, Pretty chill. I just got home from Burlington and also just not really being home for a month, so
Ah,
readjusting.
okay.
Yeah. How
So,
about you?
so I'm in Montreal, so you were kind of close, just over the border. But
Yeah, I keep meaning my partner lives in Burlington, Vermont, and I always forget my passport when I visit, and they all go to Montreal all the time, so that is definitely like on my list.
good. Well,
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Um, so I only discovered your music quite recently, but
Oh, cool.
I know you've been making music for a long time. I think it was on a playlist, and then
Mm.
like usually when I listen to playlists of new music, I'm like listen to a little bit and then skip, listen to a little bit and then skip, and then it got to your song, and I was like, oh, what's this? And then
Cool.
since then I've been back and listened to everything, and and now we have new music as well, so I'm excited for
Hmm.
that. But I know you had a really interesting upbringing musically and with your family and all that.
Hmm.
Um, what can you tell me about how things all started for you musically?
Just that it was kind of always like a part of my life. Music was pretty ingrained into, um, yeah, going to shows since I was a little kid, my family hosting touring bands, both my parents playing in bands throughout my childhood. So, yeah, just like always very creative space, always music playing in the house, which is funny because now, like, I actually am a person that is usually doesn't listen to music at home at all, like really quiet house.
Really?
And I listen to music in the car more than anything because I do end up I am like driving a lot in my life. So then like being home, I really enjoy like silence. Um, but yeah, so just pretty much immersed in it. Not really like I didn't really have to seek it out. I mean, I definitely like found bands that my parents didn't know, but it was almost like the opposite of some people where like their parents listen to like mainstream stuff and they have to find the weird stuff. I had to like find the mainstream stuff. Like look for the pop and stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
what kind of music were your parents playing?
You mean like them playing or just like on just that we
Well, yeah,
listen to?
in their bands, what kind of bands were they in?
The band my dad was in was kind of like uh folk, but like pretty like raw rock and roll folk vibe, like very lyric driven music. And I think my mom too, like a little punkier, but yeah, like melodic but um raw, heartfelt music. Yeah.
You mentioned like that was your first memory. So, like as a young kid, were you, how did you feel about that kind of music? 'Cause that's, that's not what most kids are being brought up on. Did you gel with it pretty quick?
Yeah, I think it was just like I don't think I ever thought about whether I liked it or not. It was just like so a part of my life, but I definitely did like it and was very yeah, gravity. I mean, like most of the music my parents, oh, so much of the music that I love is like heavily influenced by what my parents played for me growing up. And yeah, I feel lucky that I didn't have to like seek that out as much.
Are they still playing? I know your dad played in your band for a while, right? Is he still playing with you?
He's not playing with me anymore, but he did play in my band for like 4 years. He plays in a different band now that is not, he was like in the band he was in my whole life, like most of my life was called The Working Poor. Um, he's they just had like a little reunion show, but for the most part, he has a new band that he plays in here. Yeah. And he's playing drums now. Like he's always kind of he's a guitar player, but
Yeah, he's a great
um
guitar player.
yeah, really good guitar player.
Do you just play guitar or have you dabbled with other instruments too?
I keep it pretty simple. I played like clarinet in fifth grade for like a few years, like I was in band, but and like learned how to read music, and that has definitely left me. I still have my clarinet, which was my grandfather's clarinet, and I would be curious. I would be curious to like learn another instrument, but for the most part I kind of like use guitar as I just kind of use it because I want to make songs. I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm like an amazing guitar player, which is maybe not something to say out loud, but it's like
Hey,
I'm kind of
some of the best
yeah.
rock and roll stars don't necessarily play that well. They just play with passion.
Yeah, I'm just like self-taught and very driven by like melody and lyricism, and the guitar is like the accompaniment that like I need to that, and it I think it lends well like how I play to my songs, but I have a hard time like learning other people's songs.
Yeah, but you do play covers sometimes.
Occasionally, we do like the Bonnie Prince Billy cover of I See a Darkness, and I think I've done like a George Jones cover and like a Lana Del Rey cover. But for the
Oh,
most part, I keep
which
pretty
Lana
eclectic.
song?
Mariner's Apartment Complex from the like
Okay,
Norman
yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
Rockwell album. I love that album. There was like a
Okay.
I think when I was still in the band with my dad, we played like a Halloween cover set, and I did like a Lana Del Rey song, a Black Sabbath song, a Bonnie Prince Billy song. I was trying to like pull from many genres.
I was gonna say that like all those are completely different, but
Totally.
I think that's probably what makes your sound so unique is you can kind of draw from all different areas of music and make something that's completely yours, I think. And I think that's why it kind of drew me in straight away. So, but it's nice when you discover an artist and then find they've got a back catalog to dive
Mm.
into as well. So that's cool.
Yeah, what
Um,
song did you hear? I'm
oh
just
my God.
curious.
I think it was one of the songs from the new record. I couldn't even
Oh, okay, cool.
tell you which one it was. So you released two songs from this record.
Mm-hmm.
Usually people for the singles, for want of a better word, they'll pick like the catchiest, shortest songs on the
Mm-hmm.
album. That's not what you did.
No.
I think they're the longest songs on the album. How did you decide which ones to release first from this record?
Yeah. I know. I was actually having that thought the other day because the third single I guess is like maybe a 3.5 minute song, and I was like, I guess that's more like a classic single song. But Backyard Lover just felt like it spoke to the whole album very well. It's like a um like this is the direction we're going kind of song to like introduce you to the whole energy of the album. I just thought it kind of like yeah, spoke to all parts of what all the other songs are bringing to the table. And then Watch Me Drive Them Dogs Wild is like the name of the album, and also probably just like the like most separate song from that album. Like definitely kind of the outlier. And so I just wanted like a very eclectic mix of like all of that they all still feel very connected, but all of the different sounds that I'm bringing to the table. People can find the shorter bangers on there, like singles are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope
Right.
people just listen to the whole record.
Yeah, for sure, because the title track is also the last track on the album as the
Hmm.
closer. I feel people are usually quite deliberate about which song is the first song and which song is the
Hmm.
last song. Did you know
Hmm.
did you know when you wrote that song it was going to be the closer? You said there was an outlier.
Hmm. It was like the last song I wrote, and yeah, it just was like the most. It felt like a different direction where I was like, I wonder if this is like the direction that my next album will take me, but this is like still attached to this album. And I think I tried putting in the middle, but it didn't make sense anywhere except the end, which is kind of how I've been when I play it live, it's often the last song we play too, because it's just kind of like an epic slow burn and it just feels like an appropriate ender.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel right anywhere else.
Yeah. So there was quite a big jump in sound from your first album to your second album.
Hmm.
And from what I've heard so far, it feels like things have switched up again.
Hmm.
Like, how do you feel your sound has progressed since your last record?
Yeah, it feels just like an organic growth. Never like I don't think it's ever been like I haven't like gone into it being like I want it to sound this way or that way. It's just been following my growth, and also different people have played on all of these albums, so like very influenced by the other musicians on it, which is always cool. Like my songwriting is changing, but also like how I interact with other people I'm playing with is like very influential to the sound. So yeah, each album has had like a different band, and yeah, I would be bored if they sounded the same forever, and I wouldn't want to listen to an artist that never changed. So I like I hope that people are like open to the the change, but I think like the soul of it has like stuck through all of them, you know.
I saw a video of you playing live, and I think it was from about a year and a half ago, beginning of 2023. And
Mm,
some of the songs from this record you played, and I think
yeah.
you mentioned that you recorded an album in that video. Does that
Funny.
mean this album's been finished for a long time?
Yeah, like a lot of these songs we've been playing live for at least 2 years, and the album we recorded a year and a half ago, if that is the right timing. It was like in March
Yeah, I think
of,
that's when the video was from March 2023.
yep, that is we recorded at the beginning of March. So it must have been
Okay.
like right after.
So why so long? Why did we have to wait?
That's a great question. I think we are just the label that I'm on, we are just like trying to give it the attention it deserved. Like we just felt really confident in the album as a whole and wanted to make sure that you know, we had everything we needed to release it, which sounds, yeah, I don't know. I guess we were like, yeah, I don't have a great answer for that. I was getting impatient, to be honest.
Yeah. So it comes out on the 27th of this month. Is that right?
Hmm.
Still the
Yeah.
same? So how do you feel now? Like we're actually in September now, so your album comes out this month. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think I keep forgetting that and keep reminding myself. Um, I'm excited for it to be out. It's like funny to hold on to something for that long. And I know a lot of my friends and people have heard it in full, but just to know, like, yeah, that I just like I know these songs inside and out and have been playing them for so long, but to know that it's like new for a ton of other people is like really exciting.
Is there one song that we haven't heard yet that you're excited for people to hear?
Um, yeah, I guess there's like a few, like I've been playing most of these live, but there are a few that we play live a lot less. Um, off of the album, I think like the next single is one that's like the oldest song on the album, the oldest one I've written, so the one I've been playing the longest and often the one that people ask me about. So I'm like excited to see how Crow.
Bro? Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that is responded to. And then also Birdseed, which is the first song on the album. Um, that's like a really fun song, and I'm excited to like, yeah, a lot of the songs are a little more morose, you know, like there's some sadness to it. And I think Birdseed is like probably like the happiest opener.
Yeah,
Um,
there's definitely like elements of humor in your songs,
mhm,
even with the sad songs.
mhm.
So tell me about how you get to a song. Like, what's your process to get to a song?
Yeah, it's kind of always changing, but a lot of collaging of like lyrics that accumulate over time. Um, yeah, so sometimes I start with lyrics, sometimes I start with a melody. Sometimes I write like 5 1-minute songs and it becomes one. It's really, and sometimes I'll just sit down and write a whole song in one setting, which is also really cool when it just like comes out really cohesively. But a lot of the songs I would say are like collaged or yeah, inspired by very specific moments, but then kind of like built upon that, you know.
So you're collecting lyrics like on a daily basis kind of thing. You just like jot things down.
Yeah, like in my notes on my phone a lot or in a notebook. And it comes in waves. I'm not like always in like super creative mode, but just like little phrases. Like even for the song Will You Do Me a Kindness, that like whole song came from a phrase from this YouTube video that my friend showed me. So there's like little things like that where it has nothing to do with the YouTube video, but that phrase really like stuck with me and inspired and just kind of like unraveled a song. And sometimes you just need like one little image or feeling or phrase that you can kind of like build upon.
Does the title ever come first?
Um, I guess with Watch Me Drive Them Dogs Wild, that might have actually, I don't think the title came first. I don't think the title ever comes first, honestly. That's like usually the song has to be finished for me to know how to portray it, I guess. I guess like with Will You Do Me a Kindness, like that phrase came first. I don't know if I knew that the song was going to be called
Okay.
that, but
So when you look through the track listing for this record, there's one song, the title kind of intrigues me,
hmm.
and that is Slipknot.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if you were going to say that. Yeah.
So tell me about that song and why is it called Slipknot?
Yeah, that song has nothing to do with the band Slipknot, which I will admit I don't even know if I heard it, if I knew if it was Slipknot, but more referring to the actual knot that is
Okay.
tied. But I did put the words together, like slip and knot. I think like if I was actually referring to the knot, it would have to be two separate words, but when I wrote it like that, it looked like really dark. I was like, this looks like it was just like it was just like seemed like it was like alluding to suicide in a really like dark way that I like was not trying to portray
Right.
because the way that it is in the song is not that. It's kind of about I don't have you heard that album? I actually don't
No, I
know.
haven't yet.
Oh, okay. Um so yeah, the slip knot, the knot in that song is not referring to like tying like a slip knot that you'd hang yourself from. So I was like, how do I like be a little playful with this? And that was for some reason putting the words together really changed the feeling.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in like when I can't remember. There's somewhere where I wrote it separately, maybe like in the insert of the vinyl. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for you to hear that
Yeah. I'm excited too, especially now.
one.
Um, so like let's go back to your parents for a quick second. Is there any advice that they gave you that you particularly hold on to?
Hmm. Um, I don't know if I can think of like a specific thing they've said, but just um that they've created a space where I feel I've always felt very I could like always be myself and pursue the arts in a way that not everybody's family is like completely supportive of. Just in the way that like I didn't totally jive with school, so I didn't go to college and that was never like a pressure. Um yeah, so just like creating an environment where someone can explore themselves and feel supported in that. I think I feel very lucky to have.
Who would be your
Yeah.
dream artist to open for if you went on tour opening for somebody?
I mean, I would love to open for Bonnie Prince
I
Billy.
thought you might say that.
Yeah. That would be a dream. Trying to think who else. That's definitely high on my list, I would say.
If somebody had never heard your music at all,
Hmm.
is there one song that you would want them to listen to first?
Hmm. I do feel like Backyard Lover is a good, I know that's like newer, but I feel very proud of maybe that song or Will You Do Me a Kindness?
Okay.
And then you can kind of skip around.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I did. I discovered the new stuff and then
Hmm.
started going back.
Cool.
Okay, last question. What is great in your life right now?
Hmm. That's a good question. What is great, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have like so much to be thankful for. I mean, just like the privilege to be able to like play music and share it is like I feel very lucky and like I don't take it for granted. Um, and also it's my favorite part of the farm season, which I call ratatouille season, where eggplant, peppers, zucchini, and tomatoes are all in season at the same time.
Nice.
So that is when I made like a ratatouille stew the other week, and this is a part of the season I always celebrate with that.
Well, enjoy some home life for a while because
Thank you.
it's only fleeting, I guess,
Hmm.
for you. But yeah, congratulations on the new music. I'm excited to hear the
Thank you so
record.
much.
And hopefully you will make it north of the border soon enough.
Yeah,
Being
totally. It's
so
on the
close.
list. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll see you in a room in Montreal pretty
Hell
soon.
yeah.
But in the
That's the goal.
meantime, yeah, thank you very much for your time. I
Thank you
appreciate
so much for talking. Yeah.
it. Okay, have a nice day.
See ya. You too. Bye.
Bye.